It's just about 3 p.m. Tuesday, September, jeez. Tuesday, May 13th. Coming to you from the shop, there is someone in the dollar bins in the back who I may have to help out while we do the live stream. I don't know why I'm saying this, no one's watching live, but if you're watching later, you might come in and see that. But yeah, if you notice, there's a empty frame behind me. Stuff's been falling because of the humidity. Uh, Still, I made a post on my social media, which I quickly mentioned yesterday, about putting up lots of signs and putting stuff out. And I definitely plan on doing more of that today. What was really interesting to me was it's a little rainy, not like actually raining, but it was rainy at one point today, right around when I opened. Yet I opened and I had people in from like 12:05 till about 1, just people coming in. I took care of some emails, talked to managers. By about 1:30, 2 o'clock, there was no one. I started working on the DC. The DC subscriptions is about this much really, is the DC subscriptions. Then there's about this much that I was going to put on the shelf. And then there's the stack of Supergirl by Sophie Campbell. So we're very excited for Sophie Campbell's new writing and drawing Supergirl run. So we got a couple of those bundles. And I was about ready to do Marvel, and I was like, 3 o'clock. Let's do the live stream at 3, and then right around 2:30 to 2:40, somebody walked in and started asking questions. But right now he's digging in the back. He seems like he's mostly interested in that. So I figured we can do the live stream. We can look at the 18 new books that I have, and if I have to, go help someone with customer service, I'm sorry. We are almost up to 1,500 live streams. Almost 1,500 live streams. I bet a good 500 to 800 of them have interruptions for me to help people. So I don't really feel bad about it. Just apologizing in advance in case we do it. We've got Ninjago Shatterspin, the second of the Lego Ninjago sequel comics. Pretty fun. We've got Sonic Prime. This was a comic that was made while the Sonic Prime cartoon was coming out. Literally an existing show. They took the computer animation and they broke it up. And considering that Sonic is always popular, I figured I'd give it a shot. I've had more than one customer tell me that Sonic Prime is what got them into Sonic, so I figured we'll get that. Next this is really exciting. We've got Blades of Furry. Now, why is Blades of Furry exciting? Because Rachel Smythe, who did Lore Olympus, did and said it's a must-have for a romance collection because it features ice skating anthropomorphic animals falling in love. No, it's because Daya Munez did it. Daya Munez. If you know that name, Daya Munez, you know The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich, which is one of our favorite romances of the last few years. So Daya Munez, who did that wonderful graphic novel, is the webcomic artist of Blades of Furry. And we got the first volume. Hey, Mark, we got the first volume in stock. Fun little anthropomorphic romance, not plastic wrap, so it probably doesn't get too spicy. Here's the thing. I have a few books here that I've got 1 or 2 copies of that I would normally have gotten like 50 copies of. But last week we had 24 books. This week we have 18 books, and it just doesn't work that way. I can get 1 or 2 copies of something, unless it's something that I'm absolutely going to crazy hand sell. We do have one of those this week, and I will get to it in a second. Trans History from Ancient Times to Today. Alex L. Combs, who's written quite a few non-fiction historical graphic novels, and Andrew Ickett, who I don't really know, go through the history of gender in different cultures and different times and how it was treated, famous historical figures who were trans. The coloring is obviously pretty straightforward. 10 Speed Press. Again, I get a bunch of these, we just have 2. Hana Means Family is it's a beautiful Hawaiian creator doing a kind of storybook, picture book in and I'd say like a Patrick McDonnell-y kind of style. Really fun stuff. Love the art pages that I saw. And thought, this is something that we can definitely move. Lilo and Stitch, as I've said before, has both a nostalgia grab for people my age and just families who have grown up with it. We've got Invincible, Volume 9 of the new finishes. That means that the thin editions, these little manga-sized ones, are now up to what is in the giant compendium. The big, chunky, gorgeous, large compendium has 9 volumes. So that's what's now finally imprinted, this small side. We have this luscious, beautiful art book by Tsuke, Spirit Return, filled with beautiful lighting and scenes. We've got Audrey Hepburn's biography by Ellen Heifer and Christopher. I believe, I don't remember where in Europe they're from, but they're a great, maybe they're Dutch, Mark. I don't know, but what's with the Dutch and single names? Telling Audrey Hepburn's life story, beautifully rendered. Simple, clean lines, as Audrey preferred. Really lovely. We've got The Next Hex Vets by Sam Davies and Lisa Moore. It's about the 4th in the series. We've got an adorable little Witcher hardcover, The Little Witcher, for all the Witchers in their life with their cutie young ones. All about a little Witcher going on his little Witcher adventures. Very cute. I finally have a reason to break out these Transformers that Brandon Cooper gave us before he moved. We've got the nice big hardcover Transformer book 1. This is the first 2 books of the Transformers in a gorgeous Optimus Prime themed cover. Oh. Big guy. Holds the first 12 issues. Got a little holographic foiling on it. So I broke out Brandon's Transformers. We also do have finally the 2 soft covers of the Transformers. Honoria is a beautiful graphic novel about childhood friendship and weirdos. It gets a little dark at times. To Broadway is a beautifully painted graphic novel. It was not in the Diamond catalog. It was not orderable through Pullbox. But about a young gay man coming to New York after the war, trying to make something of himself as a dancer. Really beautiful. What else do we have here? We've got Superboy, the Super Dog. It's DC's finest. This got a little beat up, but I think I did that. So I'm just going to give someone a discount who wants to buy it. It's the classic auto binder, Kurt Swan, Superboy, Super Dog, crypto stuff, ESC. I don't know when that happened, but it was. I unpacked it and checked it, and it was fine. So I guess I just was a little too rough with it. We've got a beautiful adaptation of The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane, of course. This is a book that I actually hated teaching because it invites so much discussion about what it is to be right, to be wrong, to stand up for things. And the students really aren't up, or at least where I was teaching, we're not up for those conversations. So I taught it once and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. We got the 12, I mentioned this last week, that this came out last week. We finally got it, the Saga Volume 12, and very excited, talking about gorgeous art. Ian Bertram and Darcy Poltergeist's Precious Metal. This is the prequel to Little Bird, if you ever read Little Bird, which I would have restocked here for having this book, but we're cutting all our ordering. And Ian spent 2 years after working on Little Bird, slowly working on this so that it would be as gorgeous as it is. You don't need to have read Little Bird for it, but it's an awesome techno-future tale about a world going to crap. So yeah, that's it. Those are our 18 books, except for bum-ba-da-dum. The only one that I got loads of copies of course, a bunch of them became damaged. But the great Tamora Pierce, a woman who I would dare to call a friend. I don't think she really is, but it's nice. Great comic writer Vita Ayala and wonderful artist Sam Beck brings Alana's first book to comic form. If you know, the Kell book is being done by a completely different publisher. So Kell's books are coming out with no regard to the fact that Alana's books, but here's Alana growing as Alan under what's it called? I just blanked on his name. eventually her adoptive father. What's his name? It's gonna drive me crazy. Anyway, meeting George, King, just great, great art, great stuff. Obviously, we're huge fans of Tammy here, huge fans of Alana. I can't help it, but I always take a little pride. People, once in a blue moon, I've had people say, "Oh, that Naphtali character in Ms. Marvel, that Jewish character, Ms. Marvel's based on you, right?" I've been asked that 2 or 3 times. And Miles, thank you, Emily. Thank you, Miles, Sir Miles. Thank you, Emily. I put one aside for you, Em, by the way. I wasn't sure if you were still on the live stream, but there's one aside for you. And I always say, no, it was based on this kid Willow saw in the Loop in Seattle, walking one Shabbos. He's really based on that. I was asked a couple of questions just to have certain scenes or things, but it was mostly a surprise to me. I was just asked, why a kid would have a Ramones yarmulke, would a kid wear this and this and this, and that was it. Everything else is a surprise to me. The only thing I contributed to was she wanted to give him a cousin who shows up in a few of the stories, helps out, and she wanted to know a good name for this cousin. She's a little secular, she's not necessarily religious, and blah blah blah. And I said, it's a really fun, popular Jewish. It was not so popular. It's not used, but it's definitely used by Jews, and you and I at least can get a kick out of it, as if you name her Alana and make her a redhead, and she did. So that's my contribution to Marvel lore. Alana Khan, Naphtali's cousin, is based on the great Alana by Tamora Pierce. This is, of course, our fixed up picture for when we had Tammy and Willow here. I wish Tammy was well enough for me to reach out to her and talk to her. Unfortunately, she's not doing well, so I've sent her a couple emails and they don't really come back, so I don't really have any other contact information, but I'm excited to carry the book. Yeah, so I'm excited by all those books. 18 books, when probably, again, you look up other stuff on other websites and other stores and you're going to have like 40 or 50 new books out. But that's our contribution. And I will see you all tomorrow when we look at the new single issues, including, like I said, Supergirl. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you got to be kind. Welcome.
How you doing?
All right, help you all find anything?
You guys looking for anything in particular?